What's up guys, Reps2Reality here. Another day at the gym. We're going to be showing you guys our basic leg workout. It's going to be good for anybody that's brand new at the gym. So let's get to it. So apparently in these videos I like to say a lot, so I'm going to do my best not to say it anymore. The first two leg movements I'm going to show you guys are going to be to warm up the legs mostly. So the first one being the leg extensions. You want to adjust the seat so that the backrest is far forward enough or far back enough where when you sit, your joint is right at the edge of the pad. You don't want to be too far forward where you have overhang or too far back where you can't fully go down because the seat's blocking it. You also want to adjust this lower part so that is not right on your ankle joint, slightly above I recommend, but you also want to do whatever is comfortable for you. When you're doing this movement, you also want to make sure that your back or your butt don't come off the padding at all. So this is what the movement's going to look like. You're in your seat comfortably, everything's adjusted right, and you just lift up, and you want to make sure that your toes are pointed towards the ceiling at the top of the movement, and they stay like that throughout the movement, so that's what it's going to look like. You want to make sure you go all the way up to full lockout where you can contract your quads, and then go back down all the way, and straight up all the way to the top, contract, and back down. So the second exercise I'm going to show you guys is going to be the leg curl machine. You set it up the same way as the leg extension machine where your knees are just past the seat padding. You also want to adjust this so that it's at a comfortable spot for you. What I would recommend would be just above your Achilles tendon but below your calf, if that makes sense. So you also want to make sure that this padding here is before your knee. You don't want it to be over here because that's not how the movement works. So this machine's already adjusted for me. It's a little bit off on this part here, but that's just so I can get my knee to clear this padding. It's a little bit more of a design. So just like the leg extension machine, your back stays on the padding and same with your butt. And you also want to keep your toes so at the top position are pointed towards the ceiling and it doesn't change, so the whole movement stays like that. So, and you also want to make sure that this padding is far down enough that it keeps your legs from lifting up off the pad. So it's at a good spot for me. So this whole upper part doesn't move at all. So you get all the way down, contract, full squeeze, and then come back up. So the next exercise I'm going to show you guys is going to be the leg press. It's actually quite complex because the amount of variations there are as far as foot placement. I'm just going to show you guys one of them today, and it's generally the most common type of foot placement, and it's going to work the overall leg. As far as seat adjustment, I would just say put it to a position that's comfortable for you. But generally, if you have poor ankle flexibility, you want it to be as low to the ground as possible. Whereas if you have really good ankle flexibility, you place the seat more forward. But then again, I'd say whatever's more comfortable for you right now. So I'm going to show you guys that most common foot placement, which is just going to be shoulder width apart roughly, and your toes slightly out like this. And then again, depending on your ankle flexibility, that's going to change your foot placement as far as height. The lower you go like this, the more it's going to hit the front of your quads, and the higher up you go, the more it's going to hit hamstrings or the bottoms of your quads. So I'm going to have my feet in the center of the pad, so it's going to work out both sides of my leg, the top and the bottom. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this without weight first. So when I start doing the movement and my legs are coming down, you want to make sure that the lower part stays in a line, and essentially my knee goes to where my shoulder's at. Hey, what are you doing at home still watching this video? You should be at the gym already training, come on. As far as depth goes for this movement, one of two things will happen. Either you'll only be able to go as far enough as your ankle flexibility will allow, or when you hit a certain depth, your tailbone will start curling up, and you don't want that to happen. So you always want to keep your back straight. So this is what it's going to look like. So just come down. That's about as far as I can go, and then press up. My back is always on the pad in the straight position, doesn't curl. And you want to make sure at the top of the movement, your knee doesn't fully lock out. Just a slight bend in the knee at the top. So you want to make sure when you're doing this movement that your feet don't come off the pad at all. So you don't want to be going down when you get to the bottom of the position. You don't want to start doing this with your feet. And when you're at the top, you don't want to be doing this. So they're always planted on the pad. So the last exercise I'm going to show you guys is going to be lunges. It's a great finisher exercise for the legs. You can do it either with barbell or with dumbbell. The dumbbell version is a lot easier. It's going to be good for you beginners because it doesn't incorporate as much of your stabilizer muscles, which most of you probably won't have. So I'm going to show you guys how the movement looks like without weight first. So the way this movement's going to look like, you're going to have your dumbbells to your side like this, and your upper part of your body is not going to be moving at all during the movement. So your chest is going to be up, your back's going to be straight, and it doesn't change. So with one step, with one foot, you take a step forward, and you want to make sure you go far enough with your step where you can keep all the weight onto this leg. So my knee right now is just above my toes, and it's going to be different for everybody, so it's going to depend on your flexibility. So you want to make sure you keep all the weight on this leg. When you come down, you want to make sure you use this leg as balance so you don't fall, and you don't want to bring your knee right to the ground like this. You want it to be slightly above, so that way you don't lose tension on this leg. So come down, keep all the weight on this leg, and then you press up with just this leg, and as you're coming up, you bring this leg to where that leg is. So once you're back in this position, you lead with the other leg now. So you bring it straight in front of you, come down, and then press with this leg, back up to this, and you just keep alternating legs. So I'm going to show you guys how to do it with weight. So I'm in the starting position now. I come down with one leg, straight in front of me, keeping the weight on that leading leg, and I press up with that leg, and then come forward with my balancing leg, and I do it for this leg, come down. It's the same thing over and over again. Alright, so the last two movements I'm going to show you guys is going to be working the lower part of the leg, which is the calf muscle. So most gyms will have the standing calf raise machine and the seated, which I'll show you guys after. So for the standing calf raises, you want to adjust the padding so that when you're at your starting position, so my feet are going to be shoulder width apart. And I'm going to have my feet, it's about midway off the padding, so like this, and my toes are pointed straight forward. So with the padding, when I'm at the starting position like this, the weights are already off the rack. So that way when I do the full movement, the bottom of the movement is going to be like this, where my heels go below parallel to get a full stretch in the calf muscle. And then the finishing position will just be straight to the top, squeeze the calf, and then come back down to below parallel. And then just up and down with this thing. So now onto the seated calf machine. This one essentially is the same as the standing calf raises. You can change your feet, different positions. I'm just going to show you guys the one with your feet straight forward. Same thing, your foot about halfway off the pad, so it's at mid-foot, the mid spot of my foot, like that. And then the movement is simple, just same thing. Up and down. You also want to make sure you go parallel, just like the standing calf raises. At the bottom of the movement, and then full stretch at the top of the movement, squeeze. Simple as that. You also want to make sure when you're doing this movement that you don't want to change your upper body position. So generally just in an upright position for the entire movement. You don't want to start leaning back because it takes weight off from the front, which you don't want to do that. So just stay upright during the entire movement, like this. You don't want to also lift with the handles either, because that just takes away from the movement. The most crucial exercise for leg development would be the squats, but the squats are a pretty advanced movement. It's so easy to do them wrong. So for this beginner workout, I'm not going to be showing you guys that. But if you do know how to do it, I would definitely recommend to include that into your leg workout. Alright guys, thanks for watching our basic leg workout video. If you like what you saw, subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our video. Our next workout video is going to be covering back day. So get up off that computer chair, let's go to the gym.